New York State still does not have a new budget in place, but it does have what's being called a conceptual deal for a new budget. Rank and file New York State lawmakers now waiting to see actual budget bills that will have specific budget numbers and specific policy language. Any deal that's in place was hammered out by Governor Kathy Hochul and legislative leaders. Most lawmakers aren't privy to that process and don't know too much right now about the nuts and bolts, but they do hear things, and here's what a couple had to say to me today.
You know, of course, in any budget, there's going to be things that we like, but overall, I'm pretty disappointed in it. I am happy about the bell-to-bell cell phone ban. It's something I've been advocating for a couple of years now, that we don't have kids have their cell phones during classroom instruction so they could focus on the learning at hand.
I think it's pretty much accomplished a lot of what the governor set out to, but also addresses a lot of priorities that we have. We want to make sure that New York remains a little bit more affordable, safer, and there's opportunity, and that's what this budget has sprinkled throughout it.
Another budget extender was passed today to keep the state government running. As for voting on a new budget, it would come in a series of budget bills. Normally, they have to age for 3 days before they can be voted on, but the governor can call for a message of necessity, which allows the aging process to be circumvented. Now, as part of the state's $254 billion budget deal, changes are coming to New York's discovery law. The governor says the reforms fix gaps in the state's evidence-sharing rule, gaps that prosecutors say were causing cases to collapse. CBS 6's Brianna Sapardi breaks down the changes and what it could mean for the courts.
We know the issue of discovery stalled and dominated budget negotiations for weeks. The governor, as well as prosecutors, have been pushing for these changes because they feel the 2019 reforms led to unintended consequences like delays in case processing and even dismissals over minor technicalities. With these new changes in this budget, they're hoping to fix those issues.
Because of some technicality or some duplicative piece of evidence that's not there, some time frame not met, some minor time frame, that those have stopped cases from going forward, that era is over.
The discovery law overhaul was one of the governor's top priorities in this year's budget talks. And while the final language of the budget isn't out yet, she met with the Albany County District Attorney and his team to celebrate the reforms.
It's going to allow us to get to the merits of a case a lot faster. It's going to cut down on unnecessary litigation, which for us here upstate was a giant problem.
New York's discovery law has been a flashpoint since it was overhauled back in 2019, requiring prosecutors to turn over vast amounts of evidence early in the case. But critics argued it led to a wave of cases being dismissed.
Well, how the law is now is if you fail to turn over even one piece of material, you're looking at likely dismissal of the entire case.
But under the changes outlined in the budget deal, judges can choose not to dismiss a case if prosecutors can prove they made a good faith effort to turn over the evidence.
What we're going to see now with these amendments, there's going to be a condensed timeline for the defense to object to what we've turned over. And the defense is going to have to sit down with the prosecution if they think something's missing.
The 2019 reforms were designed to enhance fairness and transparency. So some criminal justice advocates argue that these changes could roll back hard-won protections and tilt the system in favor of the prosecutors. The Legal Aid Society has voiced some concerns about these changes, but for now they are waiting to share their final reaction until the budget's final language is out. Reporting in Albany, Brianna Sapardi, CBS 6 News.